My name is Dr. Catherine Giraud, PhD. I'm a counselor in psychology, and I live in the Virgin Islands on the island of St. Croix. During my studies as a counselor, I got very interested in sport. That's the reason why I came to the Virgin Islands, because I was very interested in water sport. So I pursue sports psychology, and so during my studies I started to work with an international coach in windsurfing, and I worked on my dissertation in sports psychology, in windsurfing particularly, and I followed up with a lot of work with elite athletes and Olympic athletes in Athens for the Pan American Games and other international venues where I provided mental training for my athletes. The other area in which I was very interested was peer mediation and conflict resolution in our youth in the Virgin Islands. So I devised many different programs that I delivered in schools and at the government level for entire classes and schools. I also train teachers and parents in that area. That led me to become a clinical director for a youth program that conducted several humanitarian programs throughout the Caribbean. One of them was in St. Lucia. We gathered 2 tons of food. We delivered that food in St. Lucia. We brought our students there, and we went literally door to doors, visit the families in need, those that were isolated by different sinisters such as mudslides or other issues. And we provided, through this humanitarian effort, a very valuable education for our Virgin Islanders. I have been in business for the last 18 years. First as a school counselor, then as a therapist, and finally with my private practice. So I had my private practice for the last 12 years, and I do anxiety and stress disorders of all kinds. I also provide anger management. I treat ADHD and different personality disorders. I also provide family therapy and couple counseling. I also do something that is very interesting that I'm developing at the moment, which is what I call behavioral tutoring. I provide academic support and behavioral support to students who have some difficulties at school. And so I work with several tutors for that in my offices. I also develop what I call, or what is called better, e-counseling, which is counseling online. And I encourage this form of counseling because it provides comfort, it provides security, it provides accessibility to patients who otherwise would have difficulties to get out of their comfort zone and seek counseling on their own. But beside from that, I also had a couple of different businesses. One was a construction company that was developed over the course of 3 years, and we built several houses on St. Croix. The other one was a very successful restaurant. The name of the restaurant was Zibo, and we had a lot of fun doing that, provide live entertainments, fine dining, and that occupied me for 3 years. I do market my business through the typical channels: newspaper, radio talk shows, ad on different support in the Virgin Islands. But the bulk of my advertisement is from Facebook. I do have a professional page on Facebook and a professional blog as well. So I write every month, and I have a lot of followers there. I also use a lot of social media such as Skype, FaceTime, and other support that my patients may choose for themselves, so that I can provide them with the e-counseling that is such an incredible tool nowadays for people that are so used to use the social media and are very keen in using these new supports. One of the strengths of the work I do is my keen sense of multiculturalism. I have lived on 3 different continents. I have lived in very many countries, and therefore I have a keen sense of cultures. In the Virgin Islands, for instance, people are very defensive about their privacy. They don't like pictures taken about them. They don't like to speak about their business in public. And because of my very special position here as a foreigner, Virgin Islanders feel that they are not going to encounter me in their private circles. So I do have a strong following of local people. I also have located my practice in a very secluded area, and Virgin Islanders feel very comfortable in a large inside space, very homey, yet very secure. I encourage e-counseling for different reasons. Number one, it alleviates time constraints, emotional barriers. It allows people to remain within their comfort zone, and it's also pretty affordable. So for all people who would like to have counseling but hesitate because of those reasons, e-counseling is the answer. Besides that, it's very exciting to use all those different social media such as Skype, FaceTime, WhatsApp, and any other social support that people may prefer for their own use. I have developed this e-counseling because of the coming and going of the population in the Virgin Islands, and I have retained many patients who have left the island, sometimes coming back, who are traveling a lot for their work or for their pleasure, and I find it to be a very exciting and efficient way to counsel. The majority of my clients are looking for marital therapy. So I help them individually or in couple find ways to solve their issues. And that is where e-counseling comes in very handy, because in the busy life that we have nowadays, it is very difficult to schedule 2 people in the same session. So online therapy is helping these couples tremendously to not only have the counseling individually that they require, but also to find time in the evening in their own home to discuss the issues together. People can get in touch with me through my website, which is stcroixsupport.com, and it's spelled STCROIX support.com. All the information pertaining to my Facebook and my location are on this website.